Hello and welcome to a special video by Financial Ernie. On today's video, I want to break down an email that I received from the NHTSA. A lot of people have had a lot of questions in terms of Mullen's vehicles, specifically the Class 1 van. If it is street legal and if the crash testing has occurred, where is this on the NHTSA site? So I went ahead and just asked a question. Anyone that goes on the site, there's a section to contact them. Feel free to if you'd like. I did receive a response back and I wanted to read it off to you. So if you look at the section I have boxed in green, again, you can see that it says Dear Ernest Hamilton, and then in the green it says, based on your inquiry, NHTSA does not provide approvals of motor vehicles, child safety seat, or motor vehicle equipment. Instead, manufacturers are required to self-certify that their product conforms to all the applicable safety standards that are in effect on the date of manufacture. NHTSA selects a sampling of new vehicles and equipment each year to determine their compliance with applicable FMVSS. So breaking that down a little bit, Mullen was not required to submit any type of documentation to the NHTSA. They don't have certifications. That is something that each OEM has to self-certify. They are responsible for that in the event there's any type of safety concern, any type of crash, anything like that. If there becomes a high frequency of concern over a specific make and model, then the NHTSA can ask at any time for that OEM to provide documentation to show that they have performed the applicable crash test and safety ratings. And I'm sorry, not ratings, but the safety documentation. And if you look, reading again, the second paragraph there, it says the NHTSA statute and regulations establish a self-certification process in which vehicle and equipment manufacturers themselves certify that all of their products are in compliance with all applicable FMVSS, which establish minimum criteria that the product must meet. NHTSA does not approve or certify any motor vehicles or motor vehicle equipment items as complying with all applicable FMVSS. That is instead the responsibility of the vehicle or equipment items original manufacturer. So just reiterating what was stated in the first paragraph, there's not going to necessarily be any information on the NHTSA website in terms of documentation for crash testing or anything of that nature. It is held by the OEM. And they went ahead and offered a hyperlink to their actual database for vehicles, so you can look through a section of the different vehicles that have records for compliance. So as they did mention, they do take a sampling of vehicles each year, and if there's any companies that do submit documentation, whether voluntarily or required based on certain crash testings, you can find that on the database. We'll talk a little bit about that on the next slide. Just wanted to point that out to you, but hopefully that clears up a little bit. And let's go ahead and move forward. All right, so I got excited when I saw the link at first. I went ahead, clicked it, and started to do a search. I didn't see Mullen listed on their database website, but then after looking through their filtering section, you can see that the latest year that they have is 2022. So they have not actually published any of their 2023 compliance test records into their database. So don't be concerned if you don't see it on there. It doesn't mean it wasn't done. And as Mullen has stated in their PR, in their filings, they have already met all of the necessary safety standards in compliance to be able to have these vehicles on the roads. And just to touch base on the filings that I had mentioned, just read along with me on the highlighted section. So this comes from one of the PRs on November 27, 2023. Bullet says, Mullen confirms vehicle and components have been substantially transformed by the addition of complex U.S. homologation. So Mullen has already documented publicly that the vehicles comply. They have been through the crash testing, the safety standards, everything is acceptable. These are road-worthy vehicles. There's no concern there. If you did notice the sticker on the window of the Class 1 there at the Army lot, you'll see that it hasn't been rated by the NHTSA, but that doesn't mean it hasn't passed the necessary compliance records. It just wasn't part of that initial sampling set. Going on to the second section, this has to do with one of the RRDS PRs as well, in which it says that the RRDS filed the ruling request application, which details the substantial transformation Mullen completed for the Class 1 EV cargo van to meet U.S. federal motor vehicle safety standards and Environmental Protection Agency regulations. I want to pause there for a second. You will know that the EPA, as well as CARB for California, those certifications are provided by those entities and given back to the company, as well as they're posted publicly. So that information is available. That's a little bit different than the NHTSA ratings. but just want to point that out. Let's keep going a little bit further. It says including the design, testing, and validation of new safety systems, including airbags, sensors, and control modules. And then it talks a little bit about rear view camera and bumper system, harnesses, and seating. All right, folks, and last but not least, I want to share with you a photo I received today. This is a sticker in the Class 1 van, Mullen Class 1 van, that shows that it is compliant with the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. So that would be the FMVSS. So as I've already stated, one of these other slides earlier on about the NHTSA, they do have the manufacturer of the vehicle self-certify themselves based off of their crash test results, and that information, if needed, can be requested by the NHTSA at any time. So I think it's important to share this information with you all. There has been some information spread that these vehicles are still not street legal, even though Mullen's already put out PR, publicly stated that they are. And as you can see by the NHTSA's response, the OEM themselves are the ones that self-certify. So just wanted to share with you all this sticker. This does show that they meet all the regulations required in order to be able to drive these things safely on the street. So if you like this video, you want to hear some more, please like and subscribe. Let me know the content that you like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you'd like to hear about some lawsuits or any other content related to Mullen, you know I'm your guy, and I'll see you on the next one.